Rare discoveries occasionally enhance our understanding of the cosmos. Yet sometimes, we encounter something that completely shatters our existing map. Envision a photograph so confidential that it was never intended for public eyes, unveiling an entity so intentional, it can only be described as constructed. Not merely a comet or an asteroid, but a distinct presence. A single image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope has ignited hushed conversations, hinting at a visitor unlike anything ever seen in our solar system. The truth might already be slipping away. This startling image emerged from Webb's infrared survey of deep space, a routine observation that transformed into a striking discovery. Initially catalogued as a comet, this object is now named 3I Atlas. However, its behavior does not fit the traditional characteristics of ice and rock. A slender, unwavering beam of light extends from its sunlit side, cutting cleanly through the darkness. This is not the usual dusty haze but a precise projection, akin to a searchlight. The geometry surrounding its nucleus is uncanny. Sharp angles, impeccable symmetry, and shapes that seem to defy chaos. An off-the-record remark by a European astronomer described it as mechanical. Could this possibly be a piece of technology drifting among the stars? Or is there something even stranger? Typically, comet tails trail away from the Sun, propelled by radiation pressure. This adheres to a fundamental principle of orbital physics. Yet Atlas defies this rule. Its tail curves inward, moving toward the Sun. Computer simulations suggested jets of escaping gas might explain this behavior, but the pattern is too precise, pulsating in sync with Atlas's 16-hour rotation. Thermal fluctuations rise and fall in a rhythm resembling an engine cycle rather than a natural release. The dust composition is also unusual. Reflective particles catch solar wavelengths instead of absorbing them, similar to a sail intentionally harnessing light. If this is indeed a solar sail, then it implies that someone engineered it. If that's the case, the pressing question becomes, who or what is responsible? Webb's next scheduled observation of Atlas was suddenly cancelled. An internal memo stated that the telescope's tracking AI couldn't lock onto the object. This occurrence is unprecedented. As engineers hurried to resolve the issue, amateur astronomers reported flashes in the same area of the sky, as if a strobe light was being aimed outward. Could Atlas be aware it's under observation? Could it be actively interfering with our instruments? The more researchers investigated, the stranger the narrative became. The photo that ignited this dilemma wasn't part of a planned schedule. It resulted from a diagnostic calibration shot, a backup image not meant for release. This raises the possibility that someone leaked it, or perhaps something wanted it to be leaked. Some theorists even propose that the image was a message, not about us discovering it, but rather it discovering us. Shortly thereafter, anomalies began surfacing across unrelated systems. Deep space spectrometers failed to align. Satellite gyroscopes drifted inexplicably out of sync. Radio signals from the area around Atlas became erratic. Small solar monitoring satellites ceased functioning as they crossed its predicted path, as if their power was being absorbed. Around the same time, a team sifting through Webb's infrared data detected subtle fluctuations within the return signal. When interpreted as binary, these patterns resembled RNA sequences, too specific to dismiss as mere noise. This wasn't straightforward communication, it was information intended for biological decoding, like a trigger awaiting the right host. Then, in a baffling turn, Atlas vanished. Without exhaust or heat signatures, it altered its course and disappeared from all tracking systems. Some speculate it slipped behind the Sun, others believe it cloaked itself. Prior to vanishing, it emitted a final display of light, 13 evenly spaced flashes, reminiscent of a code. Experts endeavored to interpret it as a language. One cryptographer suggested it could represent a countdown. A peculiar audio file briefly appeared on a European research server before disappearing. This recording contained electromagnetic waves converted to sound from Webb's last scan of Atlas. Rather than static, the audio pulsated with rhythms and modulations corresponding to human dream frequencies. Several scientists who heard it experienced similar dreams: spirals collapsing, a radiant eye, and a wordless presence. It seemed less like a message and more like an imprint. During a routine calibration, Webb unexpectedly executed an override, briefly transmitting data to an unknown node before resuming operations. Some insiders suspect the telescope received a remote command, not from Earth, but from the object itself. Now, reports are emerging of a new anomaly detected beyond Neptune. This object is larger than Atlas and moves more slowly. It's designated 4I. Its initial unclear image reveals a faint spiral of light with 3 sharp points encircling a glowing core. Within hours, the data was deleted, and the observatory was taken offline, but the information had already leaked. Whatever Atlas represented, it was not alone. It appears to be part of a sequence, and the next phase has already commenced. Ultimately, what unsettles scientists is not merely the image, the signal, or even the biological implications. Instead, it's the discernible pattern, a purposeful rhythm weaving through every event. Not invasion, nor communication. Something entirely different. Something so advanced that it finds no need to engage verbally. The objects aren't sending messages, they embody the message. And perhaps, Earth is the intended recipient. Subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.